What really happened behind the scenes that made Jungkook appear so gloomy in the middle of his time with Taehyung in Los Angeles? Why did the moment of togetherness between these two friends actually spark global anger from ARMYs demanding an immediate explanation from HYBE? And most troubling, is it true that Taehyung is being slowly pushed aside by the agency that's supposed to protect him? A shocking scene came out of Los Angeles this week. Jungkook, who usually appears full of energy and smiles in every public appearance, was caught on camera looking gloomy and nearly in tears as he left a studio in the West Hollywood area. Even more surprising, he was not alone. Taehyung was seen walking behind him, expressionless and completely silent. Both American and Korean media focused on the interaction between the two BTS members, but what made the story explode was a brief statement from Jungkook to a Korean media outlet that managed to interview him exclusively. With a trembling voice, he simply said, "I'm sad, and you all probably know why." That statement immediately shook ARMYs all over the world. What did he mean? Why did Jungkook admit he was sad? And is this really related to Taehyung? Is there internal conflict within BTS? Or is this a reflection of a bigger crisis? How HYBE is treating its members differently. As the news exploded, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram were flooded with wild speculations, conspiracy theories, and real tears from fans. ARMYs united with a single clear demand: HYBE must speak now. However, to truly understand this emotional outburst, we must take a step back and look at the previous events that form the bigger picture of this unease. What really has happened between Taehyung, Jungkook, and HYBE? In recent months, Taehyung has appeared increasingly sidelined from promotional activities. Even though he released solo work that received international praise, promotional support from the agency seemed minimal. Billboard even referred to Taehyung as a genius without a marketing strategy. Moreover, in several major events, his position seemed distant from the spotlight usually granted to other BTS members. Meanwhile, Jungkook, who was previously known as someone extremely careful in his statements, began to show emotional gestures that were unusual. From live broadcasts that ended abruptly in tears to cryptic messages on social media hinting at sadness, a sense of loss, and injustice. Now, as these two big names are seen together in LA, the public assumed they were working on a collaborative project. But the reality emerging shows that this meeting was not merely professional. Many eyewitnesses claimed they saw them arguing at a cafe in Beverly Hills. One waiter even said that Jungkook raised his voice, while Taehyung only lowered his head in silence. "I heard Jungkook say, 'Why are they doing this to you? You don't deserve this,'" said an anonymous witness to a local media outlet. Afterwards, both of them left the place in a terrifying silence. While the public speculated, media cameras kept chasing. And this is what made ARMYs lose their patience. HYBE said nothing. No official statement. No clarification. No explanation. Even their official social media accounts stayed silent, although thousands of comments from fans flooded every post with questions and protests. Some observers of the Korean entertainment industry called this HYBE's biggest PR crisis since the formation of BTS. Why? Because BTS has always been known as a solid group, and their main strength lies in the bond between members that couldn't be shaken. If there's unequal treatment, if there's a gap, if one member is being pushed aside, this is a real threat to the foundation of the group itself. A former HYBE staff member, who wished to remain anonymous, leaked to the media that there has indeed been a major shift in the company's strategy after Jungkook's solo success. Management wants to focus on Jungkook because he's seen as the most marketable global product right now. And unfortunately, Taehyung isn't part of that primary strategy. They even postponed several planned projects for him, the source revealed. If this leak is true, it's no wonder that Taehyung feels marginalized. Not just as an artist, but as someone who has given his whole life to BTS. And if Jungkook realizes this, then his sadness and frustration are entirely understandable. Because they're not just colleagues, they're brothers. Not only in the digital world, protests have also reached the physical realm. Some fans in Korea and the US have begun putting up billboard ads voicing the unfair treatment toward Taehyung. In New York's Times Square, Taehyung's face was displayed with a huge caption, "He deserves better." Meanwhile, media analysts started calling this phenomenon a PR disaster that could shake BTS's foundation. Even Forbes Asia published a lengthy article titled, HYBE's Silence Could Destroy What BTS Has Built. Amid the storm, Jungkook reappeared in a surprise live broadcast on Weverse. His face was pale, his voice trembling. With teary eyes, he said, "You know who we are. You know who he is, Taehyung. But now, it feels like everything is being messed up." That single sentence was enough to send armies into emotional breakdowns. Comments flooded the stream, ranging from "we're with you" to "HYBE has no right to control who gets to shine." The question now is, what's the next step? Will HYBE stay silent? Will Taehyung speak out? And will Jungkook stand still if his brother is truly being pushed aside? One thing is certain: the truth is moving. And the world is watching. Because if there's one thing an agency must never do, it's to underestimate the loyalty of ARMY. They're not just fans. They are a voice of force. And right now, that voice is screaming, SO. Will this be the turning point for BTS? Is this the start of an internal resistance to overwhelming commercial power? Or is it just a passing storm that will be forgotten in their long history? Time will tell. But tonight, in Los Angeles, two friends are holding onto invisible wounds. And the world wonders, who will heal them, if not each other? However, behind all the speculation, bursting emotions, and quickly spreading theories online, there's one crucial thing that must be clarified. The news that Taehyung is being pushed aside and that Jungkook is sad because of it is not true. After thorough verification of sources, chronology, and direct confirmation from related parties, it has been proven that the grand narrative built by social media is the result of misunderstanding, manipulated information, and unfounded assumptions. First, Jungkook's statement, "I'm sad and you all probably know why," was taken completely out of context. The sentence was said in a short interview as he left a recording studio in Los Angeles, but the video snippet that spread only showed the end, without presenting the full conversation. According to clarification from the journalist who interviewed him, Jungkook was talking about the challenging creative process of his latest solo album, not about Taehyung or BTS's internal dynamics. Second, the moment referred to as a heated argument between Jungkook and Taehyung at a Beverly Hills cafe was also misinterpreted. Leaked CCTV footage that fans analyzed actually showed a normal situation. They were seen chatting and laughing slightly, with no signs of tension. A cafe staff member told local media that they were the most polite and friendly customers that day. There were no raised voices, no argument, just two friends enjoying coffee and talking about their project in the US. Third, the suspicion that HYBE is sidelining Taehyung for business reasons was also untrue. In an official statement released after fan pressure mounted, a HYBE representative stated that all BTS members are treated equally, and Taehyung is currently on a break that he personally requested to maintain his mental and physical health. HYBE also added that Taehyung's solo projects are still ongoing, just not announced publicly because they are personal and not for media consumption at this time. And the same clarification, HYBE emphasized that their support for all BTS members, active or enlisted, continues as planned and that no priority division exists as claimed. They also regretted how baseless rumors caused unnecessary tension among fans and artists alike. Taehyung eventually spoke out via weverse. He wrote, "I've seen all your concerns, but I'm fine. Jungkook and I are in LA for some personal things, nothing to worry about. I just wanted time for myself. Thank you for always caring." That short message was met with emotional responses from ARMY and helped ease much of the anxiety. Jungkook, in his next live broadcast, also added, "I know you always want to protect us, but not everything you read online is true. I was sad because the song I wrote missed the mixing deadline, not because of what you think. Taehyung and I are fine. We even had dinner after that." This statement confirmed that all the speculation wasn't just incorrect, but also showed how vulnerable public perception is to fragmented and unverified information. The entertainment world often creates illusions, but ARMY, as a massive community, must be able to distinguish between emotion and fact. This incident is an important lesson for everyone: fans, media, and agencies that transparency, open communication, and verified information are the main foundations for trust. Not all visible sadness stems from internal drama. Not all silence means something is being hidden. And not all captured moments should be interpreted freely. We must remember that Jungkook, Taehyung, and all BTS members are ordinary people with personal lives, fatigue, and the right to live their days without excessive pressure from public interpretations. They've given so much love and work to the world. It's only right we repay them with trust and respect. In the end, the news about Jungkook being sad and Taehyung being pushed aside is simply a narrative formed from fragmented, unconfirmed assumptions. ARMY does have the right to ask questions, but also the responsibility to avoid spreading unverified information. Today, the truth is clear. Let it serve as a reminder that behind all the noise of the entertainment world lies a far simpler reality: friendship, hard work, and the desire to keep creating with peace of mind. Now is the time to stop guessing and start offering real support, not by doubting, but by trusting.